Series X. I'm Anish,
Hey, this is Karan.
and today we're going to be covering electric vehicles at CES. Great, so getting right into it, we're going to be talking about the Sony Vision-S, which is a really beautiful car. So Sony's done a real good job with the design of this car, and it's kind of unfortunate that they have no plans to release this into the market. But what the car does very well is showcase all of the technologies that Sony has built and developed over the past many years, and condense it into this one vehicle to show you how it can impact your in-car experience. So we know that Sony makes cameras, displays, batteries, sound systems, and are also known for their very sleek designs. It's really interesting to see how they have packaged this into the car, and we know that all of these things impact a vehicle in one way or the other. And I'm only hoping that at some point it does see the day of light. But in the meantime, it can give other car manufacturers some idea as to how they can incorporate some of Sony's technologies into their own vehicles. So that's something to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, even I believe, Anish, that's a great looking car for CES this time. So moving forward,
Yeah.
the next car in picture is our Mercedes Benz Vision-S. So this is a very futuristic concept car released by Mercedes. So the car has majorly taken its inspiration from the movie Avatar. So now what Mercedes has done with the car is that they have taken into consideration electric platform and have included a really good bunch of tech which is very futuristic to look from today's point of view. But
Right.
what this car has brought forward is organic battery technology. Now this
Right.
battery technology is majorly based on some deep chemistry that these guys have indulged into. And
Mm-hmm.
further, they also allege that apparently these batteries are 100% recyclable. Now, further,
Okay.
amazing part of these batteries is that they charge in less than 15 minutes, which is an exciting thing to see in the electric vehicle space. Uh, Further, great bunch of tech included in this car, very futuristic from interior and from the exterior itself. Very high tech, inspiring car to look forward to.
We now have the BMW iNext, which again is, at least to me, a very polarizing design because BMW's done something very funny with the front grille of this car. And they're calling it the Big H. I don't know why, but it just looks weird, at least to me. But the BMW iNext is an all-electric SUV, and it's an evolution from Project I, which was popularized by the i3 and then subsequently the i8, which we saw in one of the Mission Impossible movies. So iNext is what they imagine for 2020 and going forward, but purely electric. And it's a concept that focuses more on the interior and exterior finish and looks, more than anything that's under the hood, or at the base, given that these are electric vehicles. So, even if you go to their website, and a lot that we've seen at CES is just a lot of jargon, but no metrics whatsoever. But the car in itself, you're either going to completely love it or not like it as much.
Yeah, Anish, like truly, I believe it's too early to say anything on the BMW's car this year. But let's see how the car grows forward with its I Project I. Now, moving forward, the next car we're looking at is Fisker Ocean. This is a all-electric SUV launched by a automobile company based out in US itself. Now, They say that this is the world's most sustainable vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Further, it has all electric solar panel roof. Further, it also brings out a recyclable carpet, vegan interiors, which is the first time in this category coming forward. Uh,
Right.
Plus, to make the car more accessible to its users, Fisker is also introducing a lease policy, which can bring the car more quicker to its consumer end, to its end users. Now, for the
Okay.
exciting news is that Fisker also has plans to launch in India in the late 2023 or either in early 2024. So let's see how this
Right.
car can uh, can perform in the Indian markets. The manufacturer also has plans to be launched at other countries as well, like China and other European countries. But India would be an exciting country to have like to watch for. So yeah.
Great. Next is a car company that you most likely owned a car from, and they're known for their economy sedans, but as well as their highly charged SUVs, at least here in the Middle East, and that's Nissan. So Nissan's taken a design leaf out of the Nissan Leaf, right? They have come out with Nissan Ariya, which is an um, all-wheel drive electric mid-segment car, and they aren't really moving away from the design style that Nissan has known to deliver, over the past few years. But it's merely just a internal upgrade, so to speak. So the car is slick. It's just like the Leaf. It has a rounded look and feel. Um, and the only thing that they've done is made it electric, and then much smarter when it comes to their infotainment and navigation systems. So you know traditional look of the Nissan, but innovation at the same time with their electric and infotainment.
So the next car we're looking at is the Jeep. Now this has been quite a sad for the electric fans and Jeep fans though. The car isn't going forward with the all electric framework this year. So the car has majorly the manufacturer has showcased three vehicles which are in the area of plug-in hybrid. So
Mm-hmm.
Jeep will be uh, upgrading or have a separate model for Wrangler, Compass, and Renegade, which will be a
Mm-hmm.
plug-in hybrid. The details of the battery and other specs isn't released by the Jeep as of now, but
Okay.
the move has been majorly carried out by Jeep to compete with Range Rover, Land Rover plug-in hybrids. So let's see how they're able to perform in the market. But if you ask me, not happy.
Yeah, I think this car is just it has the exact look and feel from the outside of your traditional Jeep Wrangler Sport,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and Jeep Wrangler 4x4. So it's going to be fans of this car because they have die-hard fans. So it's going to be fans of this car, but ones with a conscience that want to have an electric version. But the reason anyone buys a Jeep in the first place is for its power, and so that's going to be critical. Like, can they maintain the power and give that same feel as driving a Jeep while you go off-roading? That it being a traditional gas car gives. And I mean, we've seen it with other 4x4s doing it, but with Jeep,
Yeah,
we don't know much yet. So we'll have to see it driving on the road. Right.
yeah.
And so talking about 4x4s, now we come to the pickup truck that we've been hearing a lot about over the past 2-3 years, and that's the Rivian. If you haven't guessed it already, so the Rivian picked up a $700 million investment from Amazon, where Amazon was leading a $1.3 billion round in total. And the investment that Amazon made also has come with certain stipulations of integrating Amazon's various technologies into the Rivian. Now, we've already heard a lot about the Rivian being a solid pickup truck, electric pickup truck in its category. I mean, we have the impending release of the Cybertruck, but it hasn't released yet, so we can't say anything. But we've seen a lot of demos and videos of the Rivian driving around. So we know it's a stellar electric pickup truck, but in terms of its integrations and in-car systems, what we're hearing is that there's a deep integration of Alexa down to the hardware of the Rivian, and you're going to be able to use Alexa to control a lot of what you're doing inside the car, and this includes controlling the music and the navigation. We don't know yet to what extent you can control self-driving with Alexa and with your voice. I'm assuming for safety reasons, it's best to gradually wane it off of a manual control. But yes, Alexa is going to be integrated. We're going to see a 2021 launch, and then hopefully soon we see the Cybertruck launching as well, and then we see both of them in action in this electric pickup truck category. Got it. And then we have the Ford Mustang, Karan.
Yeah, so the Ford Mustang. So Ford Mustang, if you ask me, is a really nice looking car. It looks new. So Ford Mustang is majorly the answer to Tesla. Now we have been seeing that Ford has been declining in the past few years after Tesla and other vehicles gearing up. But so this is the gamble that they have brought forward in the electric game. So the car also showcases a smart LCD screen in the mid of the dashboard, just like Tesla's. But let's see how it's able to perform software wise, because that's where the Tesla actually shines. So let's see how Ford is able to integrate that software to compete with Tesla's software at the same time. Now, further, the car looks look wise, interiors, everything looks like a complete package though, but it is yet to be released by the end or starting of next year. Now, further, this now exciting part is that Ford has taken the electric boat. Now, let's see. I think this should be a major wake up call for other automobile manufacturers to get on board too with the electric category. Like Ford is majorly considered as a major automobile manufacturer. So let's see how the Ford Mach-E is able to perform.
Definitely. And so that, for the most part, obviously there have been other cars that have, been showcased or demoed at CES, but this we feel is the best roundup we could give. But the underlying point is that how do all of these cars and how do all of these companies position themselves to compete with Tesla? And as of recording this, Tesla's stock is sitting somewhere in between $540 and $550 US. It's been on a crazy journey upwards for the most part this last week. That's mostly come off the fact that Tesla's talked plans in China. They've turned a profit last. They've generated revenue last quarter, turned a small profit, and they're ramping up production for various other models. And you're going to see the Roadster at some point, as well as the Cybertruck. And so Tesla's in a real good space because over the years they have built up a very critical part of vehicle manufacturing and delivery, which is their supply chain. And when it comes to electric cars, they almost own, the gas stations of the future, which are their which is their supercharger network. So all of these verticals give them some sort of moat in the electric vehicle market. It's to see. I mean, there's nothing stopping Tesla from becoming sort of the Apple of transportation and mobility over the next decade. I'm interested to see the ATV as well, the quad bike, and where Tesla can go only depends on how fast they can keep delivering, and the people who drive the cars are the marketing themselves. Unlike many of these other companies, they don't have Tesla doesn't have as big as a marketing budget, or actually not at all, as opposed to some of these other companies. So Karan, any other final thoughts before we end this episode?
Yeah, yeah. So we can clearly see that Tesla is for sure the inspiration for the CES this year for the automobile industry. Um, while so we know that uh, the global car market in overall is pretty saturated, and that's where the Tesla comes in,
Right.
with its new design, electric, and yeah. So at the same time, the other manufacturers are having a struggle to keep up with the design, which plays with the public's imagination as Tesla does.
Right.
So yeah, that's the space for sure to look out for Tesla. Uh, so for sure, like this decade is going to be very big for the electric manufacturers, electric vehicles coming up.
Correct.
My money is on Tesla for sure, but let's
Right.
see how this electric segment frames or comes about to be.
Super. So with that, it's a wrap on this episode. Thanks a lot for joining us on this one, and make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you know when we post next. And with that, until next time, thank you.